In the grim darkness of the far future, where humanity's survival hangs by a thread, the Skitarii stand as the cybernetic vanguard of the Adeptus Mechanicus. These enhanced warriors, melding flesh and machine, embody the relentless pursuit of knowledge and technological supremacy that defines their masters. Imagine a battlefield where the line between human and machine blurs, where the air crackles with energy weapons and the ground trembles beneath the thunderous march of cybernetic legions. This is the domain of the Skitarii, the tech priests' tireless soldiers in the endless war for humanity's future. Forged in the fires of Mars and its countless forge worlds, these augmented troops represent the pinnacle of the Mechanicus' military might. Their bodies, sculpted by cybernetic enhancements, house minds programmed for unwavering loyalty and tactical brilliance. With each step, they carry the weight of 10,000 years of lost knowledge and the burning desire to reclaim humanity's technological birthright. The Skitarii's presence on the battlefield is a symphony of destruction, their weapons humming with arcane energies barely understood by their enemies. Their red robes, a stark contrast to their metallic bodies, billow in the smoke-filled air as they advance, their optical sensors piercing through the fog of war with preternatural accuracy. These warriors are more than mere soldiers. They are the physical manifestation of the Omnissiah's will. Each Skitarii is a living testament to the Adeptus Mechanicus' creed that flesh is weak, and only through union with the machine can true strength be achieved. Their every action is a prayer, every kill an offering to the machine god. As we delve deeper into the world of the Skitarii, we'll uncover the secrets of their creation, the intricacies of their organization, and the pivotal role they play in the Imperium's desperate struggle for survival. From the radiation-blasted wastes of forge worlds to the farthest reaches of space, the Skitarii march ever onward, their metallic hearts beating in perfect unison with the grand designs of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Prepare to witness the awe-inspiring might of these cyber warriors, whose very existence challenges the boundaries between man and machine. The saga of the Skitarii is a tale of devotion, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of technological dominance in a universe where such power means the difference between survival and extinction. Within the vast tapestry of the Imperium of Man, the Skitarii occupy a unique and crucial position. These cyborg warriors serve as the military arm of the Adeptus Mechanicus, a technologically advanced organization that holds the keys to humanity's scientific knowledge and industrial might. To understand the Skitarii's importance, one must grasp the precarious balance of power within the Imperium itself. The Adeptus Mechanicus, often referred to as the priesthood of Mars, maintains a quasi-independent status within the Imperium. This arrangement, born from ancient pacts and mutual necessity, allows the tech priests to pursue their quest for knowledge while providing the Imperium with the means to wage war across the galaxy. The Skitarii, therefore, represent not just a military force, but a physical manifestation of this complex relationship. In a universe where technological regression threatens humanity's survival, the Skitarii stand as guardians of lost knowledge and seekers of forgotten technologies. Their every campaign, whether defensive or exploratory, serves the dual purpose of protecting the Imperium and advancing the Mechanicus' agenda. This duality often places them at the forefront of humanity's most desperate battles and its most daring expeditions into the unknown. The importance of the Skitarii extends beyond mere military might. They embody the Mechanicus' philosophy that perfection lies in the fusion of flesh and machine. Each Skitarii warrior serves as a living experiment, pushing the boundaries of human enhancement and challenging the very definition of humanity in the process. This aspect of their existence resonates deeply with the underlying themes of transhumanism and the cost of progress that permeate the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Moreover, the Skitarii's role highlights the fragile alliances and internal tensions that characterize the Imperium. While ostensibly serving the Emperor, their ultimate loyalty lies with the Fabricator General of Mars. This potential conflict of interest adds layers of complexity to their interactions with other Imperial forces, from the superhuman space marines to the countless regiments of the Astra Militarum. The technological superiority of the Skitarii also underscores the vast disparities that exist within the Imperium. While most of humanity struggles with crude, often barely functional equipment, the Skitarii wield weapons of terrifying potency, their very bodies augmented beyond recognition. This stark contrast serves as a constant reminder of the Mechanicus' power and the Imperium's reliance on their arcane knowledge. In the grand narrative of Warhammer 40,000, the Skitarii serve as a bridge between humanity's glorious past and its uncertain future. They fight not just against the myriad external threats that besiege the Imperium, but also against time itself, racing to recover lost technologies before they fade from memory entirely. Each archaeotechnology they secure, each data cache they recover, could hold the key to humanity's survival or doom. The presence of the Skitarii on a battlefield often signifies the strategic importance of a conflict. Whether defending a crucial Forge world, assaulting a Xeno stronghold hiding valuable technology, or embarking on perilous expeditions into uncharted space, their deployment speaks volumes about the Mechanicus' priorities and, by extension, the Imperium's most vital interests. Understanding the Skitarii and their place in the Imperium provides crucial insight into the complex web of power, technology, and faith that defines the Warhammer 40,000 universe. They are not merely soldiers, but living symbols of humanity's struggle to reclaim its destiny among the stars, no matter the cost. The origins of the Skitarii trace back to the tumultuous era of the Age of Strife, a period marked by warp storms and humanity's fall from its technological zenith. As isolated human colonies struggled for survival, Mars emerged as a bastion of scientific knowledge and technological prowess. The tech priests of Mars, foreseeing the need for a dedicated military force, began experimenting with cybernetic enhancements to create the perfect warriors. These early prototypes laid the foundation for what would become the Skitarii. Initially, volunteers from Mars's worker population underwent augmentation procedures, their bodies gradually replaced with cybernetic components. As the process evolved, the line between man and machine blurred, giving rise to a new class of hybrid warriors. The development of the Skitarii coincided with the rise of the cult Mechanicus, a techno-religious order that venerated technology as divine. This belief system, centered around the Omnissiah or machine god, provided the ideological framework for the Skitarii's creation and deployment. The cyber warriors were seen not just as soldiers, but as living embodiments of the Omnissiah's will. During the Great Crusade, when the Emperor of Mankind sought to reunite humanity, the alliance between Terra and Mars played a crucial role. The Treaty of Mars, also known as the Treaty of Olympus Mons, formalized this partnership, integrating the Mechanicum, later Adeptus Mechanicus, into the nascent Imperium. This agreement granted the tech priests a measure of autonomy in exchange for their technological expertise and military support, including the service of the Skitarii legions. Throughout the millennia that followed, the Skitarii evolved alongside the Adeptus Mechanicus. Their designs were refined, incorporating recovered archaeotech and newfound innovations. The radiation-blasted wastelands of Mars and other Forge worlds served as proving grounds, shaping the Skitarii into resilient and adaptable warriors capable of operating in the harshest environments. The organizational structure of the Skitarii took inspiration from both ancient Terran military doctrines and the logical, hierarchical nature of machine systems. Cohorts, maniples, and legions formed the backbone of their organization, each unit precisely calibrated for maximum efficiency in battle. As the Imperium expanded and faced new threats, the role of the Skitarii grew in importance. They spearheaded explorations into unknown sectors, defended vital Forge worlds, and joined crusades against the enemies of mankind. Their unique capabilities made them invaluable assets in tech retrieval missions, often being deployed to secure and recover lost technologies from ancient human colonies or alien civilizations. The Horus Heresy, a galactic civil war that nearly tore the Imperium apart, tested the loyalties of the Skitarii and their Mechanicus masters. While most remained faithful to the Emperor, some were swayed by the promises of forbidden knowledge offered by Chaos. This schism led to further refinements in Skitarii programming, emphasizing unwavering loyalty and resistance to corruption. In the aftermath of the heresy, as the Imperium rebuilt itself, the Skitarii became symbols of resilience and technological superiority. Their presence on battlefields across the galaxy served as a reminder of the Adeptus Mechanicus's power and the enduring alliance between Mars and Terra. Over the millennia, the Skitarii have participated in countless campaigns, from the defense of Forge worlds against Orc-Wag to the exploration of space hulks drifting in the void. Each engagement has contributed to their legend, with tales of their exploits recorded in binary cant and stored in vast data vaults on Mars. The constant warfare and the need for adaptation have driven ongoing improvements in Skitarii design and tactics. New patterns of augmetics, more efficient power sources, and increasingly lethal weaponry have been incorporated into their ranks, ensuring they remain at the cutting edge of the Imperium's military technology. As the 41st millennium draws to a close and new threats emerge to challenge humanity's dominion, the Skitarii stand ready. Their history, intertwined with that of the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Imperium itself, continues to unfold. With each battle, each recovery of lost technology, and each advancement in their capabilities, the Skitarii write new chapters in their ongoing saga, forever marching towards a future where the lines between flesh, machine, and divinity converge. Long before the Imperium of man stretched across the galaxy, the seeds of the Skitarii were sown in the red sands of Mars. During humanity's first forays into the solar system, Mars became a hub of scientific advancement and technological marvel. As the planet's biosphere collapsed, its inhabitants turned to augmentation and cybernetics to survive the harsh, radiation-soaked environment. This fusion of man and machine laid the groundwork for what would become the Skitarii. Early Martian settlers, facing the planet's unforgiving conditions, gradually replaced failing organs and limbs with mechanical counterparts. These augmentations, initially born of necessity, evolved into a cultural and religious practice. The Mechanicum, precursor to the Adeptus Mechanicus, arose from this techno-cultural revolution. Its founders, seeing the potential in melding human ingenuity with machine precision, began experimenting with more extensive cybernetic enhancements. The first true Skitarii emerged from these experiments, warriors whose bodies were optimized for combat and survival in extreme conditions. As Martian society developed, so did the complexity and capabilities of the Skitarii. The radiation-blasted wastes became proving grounds, each generation of cyber warriors more advanced than the last. The harsh environment served as a crucible, forging the Skitarii into resilient and adaptable soldiers. During the Age of Strife, when warp storms isolated human worlds, Mars remained a bastion of technological knowledge. The Skitarii played a crucial role in defending the Red Planet's vast archives and forges from both external threats and internal strife. Their actions during this tumultuous period cemented their position as the Mechanicum's primary military force. The arrival of the Emperor on Mars marked a turning point in Skitarii history. Recognizing the value of Martian technology and the strength of its cybernetic warriors, the Emperor negotiated the Treaty of Mars. This agreement brought the Mechanicum into the fold of the nascent Imperium, with the Skitarii pledging their allegiance to both Mars and the Emperor. Throughout the Great Crusade, Skitarii forces accompanied expeditionary fleets, their unique capabilities proving invaluable in compliance operations and tech recovery missions. They fought alongside the Emperor's legions, facing threats ranging from hostile Xenos races to human civilizations that had regressed to barbarism during the Age of Strife. The Horus heresy tested the loyalties of the Skitarii and their Mechanicum masters. While the majority remained faithful to the Emperor, some were swayed by the dark promises of the War Master Horus. This schism led to bitter conflicts on Mars and other Forge worlds, with Skitarii battling their corrupted brethren amidst burning manufactorums and toppling monuments to human ingenuity. In the aftermath of the heresy, as the Imperium rebuilt, the Adeptus Mechanicus emerged from the ashes of the old Mechanicum. The Skitarii, too, were reforged. New safeguards were implemented in their programming to prevent future betrayals, and their augmentations were refined to better combat the myriad threats facing the Imperium. Over the millennia that followed, the Skitarii participated in countless campaigns across the galaxy. They spearheaded explorations into lost human colonies, defended vital Forge worlds from Xenos incursions, and joined crusades to reclaim territories lost to the forces of chaos. Each engagement added to their legend, with tales of their exploits recorded in binary cant and stored in vast data vaults on Mars. The constant warfare and need for adaptation drove ongoing improvements in Skitarii design and tactics. New patterns of augmetics, more efficient power sources, and increasingly lethal weaponry were incorporated into their ranks, ensuring they remained at the cutting edge of the Imperium's military technology. As the 41st millennium progressed, the role of the Skitarii evolved to meet new challenges. The awakening of the Necrons, the rise of Tyranid hive fleets, and the increasing boldness of Chaos forces all demanded responses that only the technologically superior Skitarii could provide. Their ability to operate in environments lethal to unaugmented humans made them indispensable in conflicts ranging from void warfare to subterranean battles. The Skitarii's unwavering devotion to the Omnissiah and their ceaseless quest for knowledge have driven them to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. They have braved the depths of space hulks, scoured dead worlds for fragments of archaeotech, and stood as the first line of defense against terrors beyond human comprehension. As the Imperium faces ever-growing threats in the closing years of the 41st millennium, the Skitarii stand ready. Their history, intertwined with that of Mars and the Adeptus Mechanicus, continues to unfold. With each battle, each recovery of lost technology, and each advancement in their capabilities, the Skitarii write new chapters in their ongoing saga, forever marching towards a future where the boundaries between flesh, machine, and divinity blur into insignificance. The Skitarii's journey through Imperial history is marked by pivotal moments that shaped their evolution and solidified their role within the Adeptus Mechanicus. One such defining event occurred during the Age of Strife, when a splinter fleet of Eldar raiders descended upon Mars. Vastly outnumbered, the fledgling Skitarii forces employed adaptive tactics and leveraged their augmented physiology to repel the Xenos threat. This victory not only saved countless irreplaceable technologies, but also proved the Skitarii's worth as defenders of Mechanicus interests. Another crucial juncture came with the rediscovery of the Titans, ancient war machines of unparalleled destructive capability. Skitarii cohorts played a vital role in the exploration and reactivation of long-dormant Titan legions. Their ability to interface directly with machine spirits proved invaluable in awakening these slumbering giants. This symbiotic relationship between Skitarii and Titans would go on to form the backbone of many Mechanicus military operations. The Great Crusade saw the Skitarii's first forays beyond the solar system. Their involvement in the compliance of the Forge world, Kiavar, marked a turning point. Here, they faced not only hostile human forces, but also rogue AI constructs left over from the Dark Age of technology. The Skitarii's triumph over silicon and steel sentiences that had long terrorized the planet's population cemented their reputation as mankind's bulwark against the perils of corrupted machine intelligence. During the Horus heresy, the schism of Mars tore the Red Planet apart. Loyalist Skitarii clashed with traitor forces in the shadow of great forges and data temples. The battle for the Noctis Labyrinthus, a sprawling network of canyons housing critical Mechanicus facilities, became legendary. Outnumbered Skitarii defenders held out for months against waves of corrupted war machines and demon-infused monstrosities, their sacrifice buying time for vital technologies and personnel to be evacuated off-world. In the aftermath of the heresy, the Skitarii were at the forefront of the Adeptus Mechanicus's efforts to rebuild. The reclamation of Jao Arkad saw Skitarii forces spearhead an operation to retake a forge world that had fallen to Xenos occupation during the Galactic Civil War. Their adaptive strategies and resilience in the face of alien technology proved crucial in restoring this vital industrial center to the Imperium's fold. The Gothic War witnessed the Skitarii's prowess in void combat. During the battle for Port Maw, Skitarii boarding parties turned the tide by infiltrating and disabling key enemy vessels. Their ability to operate in the vacuum of space and interface directly with ship systems gave the Imperial forces a decisive edge against the Chaos Fleet. As new threats emerged in the galaxy, the Skitarii adapted to meet them. The defense of Griffon IV against Hive Fleet Leviathan showcased their effectiveness against the Tyrannid menace. Though the Forge world ultimately fell, the Skitarii's last stand in the Basilica of St. Theodorus bought crucial time for evacuation efforts and data extraction, preserving priceless knowledge that would have otherwise been lost to the Great Devourer. The Necron Awakenings posed a unique challenge to the Skitarii. On the tomb world of Thanatos, Skitarii forces encountered the full might of a rising Necron dynasty. The ensuing conflict, known as the Thanatos Crusade, saw the cyber-augmented warriors of the Mechanicus pit their adaptability against the implacable advance of the soulless machines. This campaign yielded invaluable data on Necron technology, though at a terrible cost in Skitarii lives. In more recent times, the 13th Black Crusade brought the Skitarii to the forefront of the Imperium's defense. Their forces were instrumental in holding key sectors around the Eye of Terror, with the siege of Kasr Myrak on Cadia becoming a testament to their tenacity. Skitarii cohorts held the line against waves of chaos cultists and demon engines, their augmented bodies standing firm where even space marines faltered. The Indomitus Crusade, launched in the wake of the Great Rift's formation, saw Skitarii forces integrated more closely with other Imperial military branches. Their role in the liberation of the Forge world Metallica from Dark Mechanicum control highlighted the Skitarii's ability to counter corrupted machine spirits and tainted technology. This campaign also marked the first large-scale deployment of Primaris Space Marines alongside Skitarii units, forging new tactical doctrines that would reshape Imperial military strategy. Most recently, the War of Beasts on Vigilus demonstrated the Skitarii's adaptability in urban warfare. Their forces played a crucial role in maintaining control of the planet's vital manufactorums against Genestealer cult insurrections and chaos incursions. The Skitarii's ability to interface with the Hive City's complex machine systems proved invaluable in rooting out hidden threats and coordinating defense efforts across the embattled world. These key events, spanning millennia of conflict and technological evolution, have continually reshaped and redefined the Skitarii's role within the Imperium. Each challenge faced, each victory won, and each sacrifice made has further honed them into the ultimate fusion of human determination and machine efficiency. As new threats loom on the horizon, the Skitarii stand ready, their augmented forms a living testament to the Adeptus Mechanicus's unyielding quest for knowledge and power in service to the Omnissiah and the Emperor of mankind. Delving into the essence of the Skitarii reveals a complex interplay of human ambition, technological prowess, and religious fervor. At their core, these cyborg warriors embody the Adeptus Mechanicus' relentless pursuit of knowledge and power, serving as living testaments to the fusion of flesh and machine. The augmentation process that creates a Skitarii is far more than mere physical enhancement. It represents a fundamental reshaping of human biology and psychology. Cogitator implants interface directly with the warrior's brain, allowing for rapid data processing and instantaneous tactical adjustments. Sensory upgrades push the boundaries of perception, enabling Skitarii to operate in environments lethal to unmodified humans. This melding of organic and artificial components raises profound questions about the nature of humanity in the grim darkness of the far future. Skitarii occupy a unique space between man and machine, challenging traditional notions of personhood and individuality. Their unwavering loyalty, programmed at the deepest levels of their augmented minds, blurs the line between free will and automated response. The Skitarii's role within the Adeptus Mechanicus hierarchy is equally nuanced. While they serve as the primary military arm of the tech priests, their status is not that of mere soldiers. Each Skitarii is a valuable repository of combat data and field-tested modifications, their experiences feeding back into the endless cycle of technological refinement that drives the Mechanicus. This duality of purpose, as both warriors and research subjects, reflects the pragmatic approach of the Adeptus Mechanicus to human resources. In the eyes of the tech priests, the Skitarii are not just tools but living laboratories, each battle providing new insights into the limits of human enhancement and the potential for further integration with machine systems. The psychological impact of Skitarii augmentation is a subject of much speculation. While their loyalty to the Mechanicus is absolute, the degree of individual consciousness retained varies. Some Skitarii display remnants of their former personalities, while others become little more than organic extensions of their war gear. This spectrum of awareness adds a layer of grim fascination to their existence, prompting questions about the price of technological advancement. From a tactical perspective, Skitarii forces offer unparalleled versatility on the battlefield. Their modular nature allows for rapid adaptation to varying combat situations. Specialized units like the Sidonian Dragoons or Sicarian Infiltrators showcase the diverse capabilities of the Skitarii, from lightning-fast cavalry charges to stealthy sabotage operations. The weapons wielded by the Skitarii deserve particular attention. Archaeotech marvels like the radium carbine or the transuranic arquebus blur the line between science and sorcery. These arms, often incorporating barely understood principles from humanity's technological golden age, underscore the Mechanicus's role as both preservers and innovators of ancient knowledge. Analyzing the Skitarii's impact on Imperial military doctrine reveals their influence extends far beyond the Mechanicus. Their ability to interface directly with machine spirits has revolutionized the deployment of heavy armor and Titan legions. Joint operations with other Imperial forces, such as the Astra Militarum or Adeptus Astartes, have led to the development of new combined arms strategies that leverage the Skitarii's unique capabilities. The religious aspect of Skitarii existence cannot be overlooked. For the tech priests of Mars, these enhanced warriors are not just soldiers, but living embodiments of the Omnissiah's will. Each augmentation is seen as a step closer to machine perfection, a physical manifestation of the cult Mechanicus's teachings. This belief system imbues the Skitarii with a sense of divine purpose, driving them to feats of valor and sacrifice that defy purely logical explanation. Examining the long-term implications of Skitarii technology raises intriguing possibilities for the future of humanity in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. As the line between human and machine continues to blur, the Skitarii may represent a glimpse of mankind's potential evolution. This prospect is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, embodying the duality of progress and loss that characterizes the setting. The ethical considerations surrounding Skitarii creation and deployment are complex. While their augmentations undoubtedly enhance their combat effectiveness, the cost in terms of human autonomy and identity is high. This moral quandary reflects broader themes within the Imperium, where individual sacrifice for the greater good is a constant refrain. Despite their technological sophistication, Skitarii are not invincible. Their reliance on complex machine systems can be a vulnerability, particularly against enemies skilled in electronic warfare or empowered by warp energies that defy conventional logic. This weakness serves as a reminder of the eternal struggle between technological advancement and the capricious nature of the universe. In conclusion, the Skitarii stand as one of the most fascinating and multifaceted elements of the Warhammer 40,000 setting. They embody the hopes, fears, and contradictions of a humanity caught between its past glory and an uncertain future. As living weapons, scientific marvels, and religious icons, the Skitarii continue to push the boundaries of what it means to be human in a galaxy where such definitions are constantly challenged. In the complex tapestry of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, the Skitarii occupy a unique position, their very existence a nexus of conflicting ideologies and interests. The cyber-enhanced warriors find themselves at the center of numerous conflicts, both external and internal to the Imperium of man. Foremost among the Skitarii's adversaries are the myriad Xenos races that threaten humanity's dominion over the galaxy. The implacable Necrons, with their own mastery of advanced technology, present a particular challenge. Battles between Skitarii and Necron forces often devolve into surreal confrontations where the lines between organic and artificial blur beyond recognition. The Tyranids, in their endless hunger for biomass, view the Skitarii's augmented bodies as a tantalizing new flavor in their galactic feast. Chaos forces, ever seeking to corrupt and destroy, target Skitarii with particular zeal. The Dark Mechanicum, traitor tech priests who fell to the lure of forbidden knowledge, see their loyalist counterparts as both rivals and potential converts. Skitarii defending Forge Worlds must constantly guard against sabotage and corruption from within, their augmented minds a battleground between loyalty protocols and the insidious whispers of chaos. Surprisingly, conflict can arise even with supposed allies. The Inquisition, ever vigilant against the taint of heresy, often views the extensive augmentations of the Skitarii with suspicion. Radical inquisitors may seek to acquire Skitarii technology for their own ends, while their Puritan counterparts question whether such extreme modifications still fall within the bounds of acceptable human variation. Within the Adeptus Mechanicus itself, different forges and tech priest factions vie for control over Skitarii resources. The Skitarii's status as both valuable military assets and walking repositories of combat data makes them prizes in the internal power struggles of the Mechanicus. Rival magi may deploy Skitarii forces in shadow wars, testing new augmentations and battle protocols away from the prying eyes of their competitors. The Ecclesiarchy, stewards of the Imperial cult, maintain an uneasy relationship with the Skitarii and their masters. While officially sanctioning the Omnissiah as an aspect of the Emperor, many priests view the extreme cybernetic modifications of the Skitarii as a deviation from the pure human form. This theological tension occasionally erupts into open conflict, particularly on worlds where the influence of the Ecclesiarchy and Mechanicus overlaps. Rogue tech priests, operating beyond the strict doctrines of Mars, sometimes seek to subvert or reprogram Skitarii for their own experiments. These heretics, as they're known, view the cyber warriors as perfect test subjects for pushing the boundaries of human augmentation. Skitarii hunter-killer teams are often dispatched to eliminate these renegades and recover any corrupted units. Even among the Imperial Guard, attitudes towards the Skitarii are mixed. While many guardsmen are awed by the technological might of the Mechanicus's warriors, others find their inhuman appearance and behavior unsettling. Joint operations can be fraught with tension, as the methodical efficiency of the Skitarii clashes with the more humanistic approach of traditional military units. The Adeptus Astartes, humanity's transhuman defenders, have a complex relationship with the Skitarii. Space Marine chapters with close ties to the Mechanicus may work seamlessly alongside Skitarii forces, while others view them as soulless automatons, unworthy of standing beside the Emperor's finest. This disparity in attitudes can lead to friction on the battlefield, potentially compromising military operations. Planetary governments and populations often have conflicting views on the Skitarii. Some see them as saviors, bringers of the Omnissiah's wrath against the enemies of mankind. Others view them with fear and suspicion, wary of the Mechanicus's inscrutable agendas. Worlds that supply aspirants to the Skitarii ranks may be torn between pride in their contribution to the Imperium's defense and sorrow at the loss of their youth to the Mechanicus's cybernetic forges. The Officio Assassinorum, the Imperium's shadowy organization of elite killers, has a particular interest in Skitarii technology. Certain temples, especially the cult of the Machinator, seek to incorporate Skitarii augmentations into their own operatives. This technological espionage adds another layer of covert conflict to the already complex web of relationships surrounding the Skitarii. Eldar corsairs and dark Eldar raiders view Skitarii as prized targets, their augmented bodies offering unique opportunities for technological plunder or cruel experimentation. The cyber warriors' single-minded devotion to duty makes them particularly susceptible to the reality-bending attacks of these ancient adversaries. Orc mechs, ever eager for new sources of gubbins to incorporate into their ramshackle war machines, see Skitarii as walking treasure troves of high-tech loot. Battles against Orc forces often require Skitarii to fight with particular zeal, lest their fallen comrades' technology falls into the hands of these ingenious greenskins. Genestealer cults, in their insidious infiltration of Imperial worlds, face a unique challenge in subverting Skitarii forces. The cyber warriors' augmented minds and loyalty protocols make them resistant to traditional methods of corruption, forcing the cult to develop new strategies for dealing with these vigilant guardians. As the Imperium faces ever-growing threats, the position of the Skitarii becomes increasingly pivotal. Their unique capabilities make them indispensable in the defense of humanity, yet their very nature continues to be a source of conflict and controversy. In the grim darkness of the far future, the Skitarii stand as both bulwark against humanity's enemies and a stark reminder of the cost of survival in a hostile universe. The relentless march of technological progress, driven by the Adeptus Mechanicus's insatiable quest for knowledge, reached its zenith with the Ultima Convergence. This watershed moment in Skitarii evolution saw the implementation of the Omnissiah Synapse, a revolutionary neural network that elevated cyber warrior cohesion to unprecedented levels. Forge World Metallica spearheaded this groundbreaking development, its tech priests laboring for centuries to perfect the intricate balance between machine efficiency and human intuition. The Synapse allowed Skitarii to share sensory data, tactical analyses, and even emotional states with near-instantaneous speed, transforming entire maniples into hyper-aware, unified combat entities. Initial field tests of Synapse-enhanced Skitarii yielded staggering results. During the reclamation of Gold Prime, a single cohort of augmented warriors outperformed 3 standard regiments, their coordinated actions displaying an almost prescient understanding of the battlefield. Enemy forces found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn, unable to cope with the Skitarii's perfect synchronization. The wider implementation of the Omnissiah Synapse rippled across the Imperium's war fronts. On Hydrafer, Synapse-linked Skitarii repelled a massive Orc Waaagh, their adaptive tactics evolving faster than the Greenskins could respond. The cyber warrior's ability to instantly share successful strategies across the entire defensive line proved decisive, turning what should have been a grueling war of attrition into a series of swift, crushing victories. However, the Ultima Convergence was not without its drawbacks. Reports emerged of Synapse-enhanced Skitarii exhibiting unsettling behaviors off the battlefield. Some units displayed a hive mind-like consciousness, making decisions as a collective that seemed to prioritize efficiency over human considerations. This raised alarming questions about the true nature of the Synapse and its long-term effects on human cognition. The Inquisition, ever vigilant against potential threats to humanity, launched covert investigations into the Omnissiah's Synapse. Concerns arose that such a powerful neural network could be vulnerable to large-scale corruption, potentially turning entire Skitarii forces against the Imperium if compromised. These fears were tragically realized during the Moirai Schism, where a cadre of heretic tech priests managed to infiltrate the Synapse network of a Skitarii legion. The resulting carnage saw loyal Imperial forces forced to confront their own augmented elite, whose inhuman coordination made them nearly unstoppable. Only through the sacrifice of an entire Space Marine chapter was the corrupted legion finally brought down. In the wake of this disaster, the Adeptus Mechanicus imposed strict limitations on the use of the Omnissiah Synapse. New safeguards were implemented, including regular purification rites and the installation of override protocols that could sever a Skitarii's connection to the network if corruption was detected. Despite these setbacks, the potential of Synapse-enhanced Skitarii could not be ignored. The technology proved instrumental in the defense of Cadia during the 13th Black Crusade. Skitarii forces, linked in perfect harmony, held the line against waves of chaos cultists and demon engines. Their unparalleled coordination allowed for the precise deployment of resources, maximizing the effectiveness of every warrior and weapon. The aftermath of the Cicatrix Maledictum's formation brought new challenges and opportunities for Synapse-enhanced Skitarii. In regions cut off from the Emperor's light, these cyber warriors became vital linchpins in Imperial defense strategies. Their ability to operate with minimal outside direction made them ideal for long-term autonomous operations in isolated war zones. On the Forge world of Graia, tech priests pushed the boundaries of the Omnissiah Synapse even further. The Graian Gestalt Protocol allowed for the temporary fusion of multiple Skitarii consciousnesses into a single hyper-intelligent entity. While incredibly potent, the strain on the human components often resulted in complete neural burnout, limiting its use to only the most dire circumstances. The evolution of Skitarii capabilities inevitably led to shifts in Imperial military doctrine. Joint operations between Skitarii and other Imperial forces became more common, with commanders learning to leverage the cyber warriors' unique abilities. The Astra Militarum, in particular, benefited from Skitarii support, using their advanced sensor networks to improve battlefield awareness and coordination. As the Indomitus Crusade swept across the galaxy, Synapse-enhanced Skitarii played a crucial role in reclaiming lost territories. Their ability to rapidly adapt to diverse combat environments made them invaluable in the fluid, fast-paced warfare that characterized this massive Imperial offensive. The Ultima Convergence and its aftermath reshaped not only military strategies, but also the philosophical debates within the Adeptus Mechanicus. Some tech priests saw the Omnissiah's Synapse as the next step towards perfect unity between man and machine. Others warned of the dangers of losing individuality, arguing that human unpredictability was a vital component in the quest for knowledge. As the 42nd millennium dawns, the full impact of the Skitarii's evolution remains to be seen. The cyber warriors stand at the forefront of humanity's defense, their augmented bodies and linked minds a bulwark against the myriad threats that assail the Imperium. Yet questions linger about the true cost of such advancement and whether the Skitarii represent humanity's salvation or a step towards an unrecognizable future. In the data vaults of Mars and countless Forge worlds across the galaxy, the next phase of Skitarii development is already underway. As humanity faces ever-growing challenges, the Adeptus Mechanicus continues to push the boundaries of what is possible, driven by an unyielding faith in the Omnissiah's plan. The saga of the Skitarii, it seems, is far from over. The Skitarii's influence reverberates throughout the Imperium, their augmented presence reshaping battlefields and altering the course of history. On Armageddon, during the Third War, Skitarii cohorts proved instrumental in countering Orc Stompa attacks. Their ability to interface directly with the Hive City's defense networks allowed for unprecedented coordination, turning the tide in several key engagements. This success prompted Imperial strategists to reconsider urban warfare doctrines, incorporating Skitarii elements into standard defense protocols for major population centers. Inquisitor Fyodor Karamazov's infamous purge of the Korior system took an unexpected turn when he encountered a Skitarii maniple engaged in a classified Mechanicus operation. The resulting clash of authority led to a schism within the Ordo Hereticus, with some Inquisitors advocating for stricter oversight of Mechanicus activities, while others argued for increased cooperation. This debate continues to shape Imperial politics, influencing everything from resource allocation to military deployments. The Skitarii's mastery of rad warfare had far-reaching consequences beyond the battlefield. Their deployment on Krieg to contain a particularly virulent strain of rad zombies led to advancements in radiation-resistant gene therapies. These breakthroughs found their way into broader Imperial medical practices, improving survival rates for voidfarers and hive world inhabitants exposed to toxic environments. In the realm of Imperial faith, the presence of Skitarii has sparked theological controversies. The Ministorum struggled to reconcile the cyber warriors' extreme augmentations with traditional teachings on the sanctity of the human form. Cardinal Esmeralda's treatise, The Machine's Spirit and the Human Soul, attempted to bridge this ideological gap, proposing that Skitarii augmentation could be seen as a form of divine transfiguration. While controversial, her work opened new avenues for cooperation between the Ecclesiarchy and the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Skitarii's influence extended even to the Adeptus Astartes. The Iron Hands chapter, long known for their affinity for bionics, began incorporating Skitarii-derived technologies into their own augmentations. This cross-pollination of ideas led to the development of the Gorgon pattern neural implants, enhancing Space Marine reaction times and tactical processing capabilities. Other chapters viewed these modifications with suspicion, further fueling the ongoing debate over the limits of transhuman enhancement. In the naval arena, Skitarii boarding tactics revolutionized void warfare. Their ability to operate in hard vacuum and interface directly with ship systems made them lethal opponents in ship-to-ship combat. The Battle of the Maelstrom's Heart saw a small contingent of Sicarian Ruststalkers turn the tide against a Chaos fleet, their lightning raids crippling enemy vessels from within. This success led to the formation of specialized Skitarii void combat teams, now a staple in battlefleet deployments across the Imperium. The Skitarii's impact on Imperial logistics cannot be overstated. Their tireless efficiency in managing supply chains and optimizing resource distribution has had a ripple effect across entire sectors. On Hydrafer, Skitarii-managed munitions factories increased production by 300%, directly contributing to the successful defense against Hive Fleet Kraken. This demonstration of Skitarii logistical prowess led many planetary governors to request Mechanicus assistance in overhauling their own industrial bases. In the shadowy world of the Officio Assassinorum, Skitarii technology found an unexpected application. The Vanus Temple, specializing in information warfare, adapted Skitarii data trawling algorithms to enhance their intelligence gathering capabilities. This synthesis of Mechanicus and Assassinorum techniques gave birth to a new generation of cyber assassins, capable of dismantling enemy operations through the dataverse with terrifying efficiency. The Skitarii's presence has even influenced Xeno strategies. Craftworld Iyanden, following a series of encounters with Skitarii forces, began developing specialized EMP weapons designed to disrupt the cyber warriors' augmetics. This arms race has pushed both sides to continually refine their technologies, resulting in ever more sophisticated warfare on the eastern fringe. In the political sphere, the Skitarii's role as the Mechanicus' military arm has strengthened Mars's position within the High Lords of Terra. The threat of withdrawing Skitarii support from crucial war fronts gives the Fabricator General significant leverage in Imperial policy decisions. This shift in power dynamics has led to increased funding for Mechanicus expeditions and greater autonomy for Forge worlds, much to the chagrin of other Imperial institutions. The Adeptus Arbites found unexpected allies in the Skitarii when dealing with tech heresies. Joint operations to root out illegal AI research and prescribed weapon development became more frequent, leading to the establishment of the Conclave of Silicon and Steel. This initiative has improved coordination between Imperial law enforcement and Mechanicus authorities, though some worry about the potential for abuses of power. In the realm of Imperial science, Skitarii combat data has proven invaluable. Magos biologists across the Imperium have used this information to refine augmetic designs and push the boundaries of human enhancement. The Lex Mechanic protocols, derived from Skitarii cognitive architecture, have found applications in improving servitor efficiency and even in treating certain neurological disorders among the general population. The Skitarii's influence extends to the very fringes of Imperial space. On frontier worlds, the sight of these cyber warriors accompanying explorator fleets has become a symbol of the Omnissiah's quest for knowledge. Their presence often acts as a deterrent to Xenos incursions, allowing human colonies to gain a foothold in hostile environments. The legends that spring up around these augmented warriors have given rise to new strains of machine worship among isolated populations, presenting challenges for Imperial authorities seeking to maintain doctrinal purity. As the Imperium faces ever-growing threats, the Skitarii's role continues to evolve. Their impact, felt across military, political, and cultural spheres, has become an integral part of humanity's struggle for survival in the 41st millennium. Whether heralded as saviors or feared as harbingers of a post-human future, the Skitarii remain a powerful force shaping the destiny of the Imperium and beyond. The Skitarii embody a complex tapestry of symbolism and themes, their very existence a reflection of humanity's struggle in the grim darkness of the far future. At the forefront stands the eternal conflict between progress and tradition, a battle waged within the augmented bodies of these cyber warriors. Their relentless drive for technological advancement clashes with the Imperium's fear of innovation, creating a tension that mirrors the broader struggles of human society in the 41st millennium. Visually, the Skitarii's distinctive red robes serve as a powerful symbol of their allegiance to Mars and the Omnissiah. This crimson garb, often adorned with sacred icons and data-inscribed purity seals, represents both the blood of sacrifice and the fires of industry that fuel their creation. The juxtaposition of these ancient, almost priest-like vestments with advanced weaponry and cybernetic enhancements creates a striking image that encapsulates the Adeptus Mechanicus's fusion of technology and faith. The theme of transformation permeates every aspect of Skitarii lore. Their journey from ordinary humans to cybernetic warriors symbolizes mankind's potential for adaptation and evolution. However, this metamorphosis comes at a cost, raising questions about the nature of humanity and the price of progress. The Skitarii serve as a stark reminder that in the harsh reality of the 41st millennium, survival often demands sacrificing parts of what makes us human. Ironically, the Skitarii's quest for machine-like perfection often highlights their remaining humanity. Moments of intuition or unexpected emotional responses on the battlefield serve as poignant reminders of the organic minds that still dwell within their augmented forms. This duality speaks to the broader theme of humanity's resilience, suggesting that even in the face of extreme modification, the human spirit endures. The concept of duty and sacrifice is deeply ingrained in Skitarii symbolism. Their willing submission to extensive augmentation and the surrendering of individual identity for the greater good of the Imperium reflects the sacrificial nature of service in the 41st millennium. This theme resonates throughout Imperial culture, from the lowliest guardsman to the mightiest space marine, but finds its most extreme expression in the Skitarii's merger of flesh and machine. Environmental themes also play a significant role in Skitarii imagery. Their ability to operate in the most hostile conditions, from irradiated wastelands to the void of space, symbolizes humanity's determination to survive and thrive in a universe seemingly set against its existence. The Skitarii's mastery over deadly environments serves as a metaphor for mankind's broader struggle against the myriad threats that seek its extinction. The binary cant used by Skitarii forces carries deep symbolic meaning. This machine language, incomprehensible to unaugmented humans, represents the growing divide between baseline humanity and its technologically enhanced offshoots. It raises questions about communication and understanding in a future where the definition of humanity becomes increasingly fluid. Hierarchy and order, core tenets of Imperial society, find unique expression in Skitarii formations. The strict command structures and precise movements of Skitarii cohorts mirror the ideal of a perfectly ordered Imperium. However, the occasional glitches or unexpected behaviors exhibited by these cyber warriors serve as reminders that chaos and unpredictability can never be fully eliminated, echoing the constant threat of disorder that plagues the Imperium. The theme of knowledge as power is central to Skitarii symbolism. Their role in safeguarding and recovering lost technology reflects the Adeptus Mechanicus's belief that humanity's salvation lies in rediscovering the wisdom of the past. This archaeotech obsession stands in stark contrast to the Imperium's general suspicion of unknown technologies, highlighting the internal conflicts that define the human realm. Skitarii weaponry often incorporates elements of the esoteric and mystical, blurring the line between science and sorcery. Radium weapons that spew deadly isotopes and transuranic arquebus that fire dimension-splitting projectiles embody the Clarke's third law principle that sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. This theme underscores the loss of scientific understanding in the Imperium and the religious awe with which technology is regarded. The constant surveillance and data gathering performed by Skitarii units symbolize the oppressive omnipresence of authority in the Imperium. Their augmetic eyes and noospheric uplinks represent a society where privacy is a long-forgotten concept, and every action is scrutinized for signs of disloyalty or deviation from Imperial norms. Paradoxically, the Skitarii also embody themes of individuality and mass production. While each cyber warrior is a unique combination of human and machine, they are also produced in vast numbers, highlighting the tension between the value of the individual and the needs of an Imperium that must think on a galactic scale. The religious fervor with which Skitarii revere technology reflects broader themes of faith and dogma in the Imperium. Their unquestioning belief in the Omnissiah's divine plan mirrors the zealotry of the Imperial cult, suggesting that even in a future dominated by advanced technology, humanity's need for faith and higher purpose remains undiminished. Ultimately, the Skitarii serve as a powerful symbol of humanity's potential and its pitfalls. They represent the heights that can be achieved through the merger of human ingenuity and technological prowess, while simultaneously warning of the loss of humanity that may come with such advancements. In the grim darkness of the far future, the Skitarii stand as a testament to mankind's indomitable will to survive, adapt, and conquer, no matter the cost to body or soul. The Skitarii, in my view, represent one of the most fascinating and morally complex aspects of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Their existence challenges our notions of humanity, progress, and the costs we're willing to bear for survival. As I delve deeper into their lore, I find myself alternating between awe at their technological marvels and discomfort at the price paid for such advancements. What strikes me most about the Skitarii is the duality of their nature. On one hand, they embody the pinnacle of human achievement, pushing the boundaries of what's possible through the fusion of flesh and machine. Their augmented bodies and enhanced cognitive capabilities showcase the potential for humanity to evolve beyond its biological limitations. Yet, this transformation comes at the cost of individuality and, some might argue, the very essence of what makes us human. The aesthetic of the Skitarii never fails to captivate me. The juxtaposition of ancient, almost ecclesiastical robes with advanced weaponry and cybernetic enhancements creates a visual paradox that perfectly encapsulates the broader themes of the 40k universe. It's a tangible representation of how the Imperium of Man clings to tradition while desperately advancing its technology to survive. I often find myself pondering the psychological state of individual Skitarii. What remnants of their former selves remain after the extensive augmentation process? Do they experience emotions in the same way unmodified humans do, or are their responses merely simulations programmed by their tech priest masters? The glimpses of humanity that occasionally shine through their machine-like efficiency are, to me, some of the most poignant moments in Skitarii lore. The role of the Skitarii in the broader Imperium raises intriguing questions about the nature of free will and consciousness. Their unwavering loyalty, programmed at the deepest levels of their augmented minds, blurs the line between devoted service and automated response. It's a chilling reminder of the lengths to which the Imperium will go to ensure the compliance of its citizens. From a military perspective, I'm fascinated by how the Skitarii have reshaped Imperial warfare. Their ability to operate in environments lethal to unaugmented humans opens up new strategic possibilities, while their enhanced data processing capabilities revolutionize battlefield coordination. However, I can't help but wonder if this hyper-efficiency comes at the cost of the human intuition and adaptability that have often proved crucial in the Imperium's darkest hours. The religious aspects of the Skitarii never cease to intrigue me. The idea that these cyber-enhanced warriors view their augmentations as steps towards divine perfection adds layers of complexity to their character. It raises questions about the nature of faith in a technologically advanced society and how beliefs evolve to accommodate scientific progress. I find the Skitarii's role in the Adeptus Mechanicus's quest for knowledge particularly compelling. Their tireless efforts to recover lost technology and explore the unknown embody the human spirit of discovery. Yet the ruthless efficiency with which they pursue these goals, often at great cost to themselves and others, serves as a stark reminder of the Imperium's desperation. The ethical implications of Skitarii creation and deployment are, in my opinion, one of the most thought-provoking aspects of their existence. The Imperium's willingness to sacrifice the humanity of its citizens for military efficiency speaks volumes about the harsh realities of life in the 41st millennium. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the limits of sacrifice and the point at which the ends no longer justify the means. I'm particularly intrigued by how the Skitarii interact with other factions within the Imperium. Their presence often seems to exacerbate the tensions between the Adeptus Mechanicus and other Imperial institutions, highlighting the fragile nature of the alliances that hold the Imperium together. The Skitarii's mastery of technology, especially in contrast to the tech phobia prevalent in much of Imperial society, presents a fascinating dichotomy. It underscores the internal conflicts and contradictions that define the Imperium, a realm simultaneously dependent on advanced technology and deeply suspicious of innovation. In many ways, I see the Skitarii as a mirror reflecting the Imperium's soul. Their existence embodies both the towering achievements and the terrible costs of humanity's struggle for survival in a hostile universe. They represent the heights of human potential and the depths of sacrifice we're willing to make in the name of progress. The concept of identity in relation to the Skitarii is something I find myself returning to often. In a universe where the line between human and machine becomes increasingly blurred, what does it mean to be human? The Skitarii force us to confront this question head-on, challenging our preconceptions and pushing us to reevaluate our definitions of personhood and consciousness. Ultimately, my fascination with the Skitarii stems from their role as harbingers of a possible transhuman future. They stand at the crossroads of humanity's potential evolution, embodying both the promise and peril of a path that seeks to transcend our biological limitations. Whether they represent a bright future or a cautionary tale remains, in my mind, one of the most compelling mysteries of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. As I reflect on the Skitarii, I'm left with a profound sense of ambivalence. They inspire awe with their technological marvels and unwavering dedication, yet also evoke a deep sadness for the loss of individuality and the human cost of their creation. In the grim darkness of the far future, the Skitarii stand as a testament to humanity's indomitable will to survive, adapt, and conquer, no matter the price. The Skitarii stand as living embodiments of the Imperium's relentless drive for survival in a hostile universe. Their augmented forms, melding the best of human ingenuity with the cold efficiency of machines, represent a future where the boundaries between organic and artificial blur into insignificance. As we've explored their origins, evolution, and impact, it becomes clear that these cyber warriors are far more than mere soldiers in the Adeptus Mechanicus arsenal. From the rad wastes of Mars to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, Skitarii forces have left an indelible mark on the tapestry of the 41st millennium. Their tireless quest for lost technology and unshakable faith in the Omnissiah's grand plan have reshaped battlefields and altered the course of countless conflicts. The Skitarii's influence extends far beyond military matters, touching upon philosophical, religious, and ethical debates that rage across the Imperium. The development of Skitarii technology has pushed the limits of human enhancement, raising profound questions about the nature of consciousness and the essence of humanity. As augmentations become more extensive and the line between man and machine grows ever thinner, we are forced to confront uncomfortable truths about identity and individuality in an age of technological marvels. Throughout their history, the Skitarii have adapted to face an ever-changing array of threats. From the implacable advance of Necron legions to the ravening hordes of tyrannid bioforms, these cyber warriors have proven their worth time and again. Their ability to operate in environments lethal to unmodified humans has opened new frontiers in warfare and exploration, allowing the Imperium to strike at its enemies in ways previously unimaginable. The religious fervor with which the Skitarii approach their duties offers a unique perspective on faith in the 41st millennium. Their devotion to the Omnissiah and unwavering belief in the sacred nature of technology mirror the zealotry found throughout Imperial society. Yet, their cyber-enhanced forms also challenge traditional notions of spiritual purity, sparking theological debates that rage from the highest spires of Terra to the lowliest shrine worlds. In the political arena, the Skitarii serve as a potent reminder of the Adeptus Mechanicus's power and influence. Their presence on battlefields across the galaxy ensures that no Imperial commander can afford to ignore the Tech Priest's agenda. This delicate balance of power between Mars and Terra continues to shape the Imperium's policies, driving decisions that affect billions of lives across countless worlds. The ethical implications of Skitarii creation and deployment remain a contentious issue. The extreme modifications required to produce these warriors push the boundaries of what many consider acceptable, even in a society as grim as the Imperium. The willingness to sacrifice individual autonomy for the sake of efficiency raises uncomfortable questions about the lengths to which humanity will go to ensure its survival. As we look to the future, the role of the Skitarii in the Imperium's fate becomes increasingly crucial. With threats mounting on all fronts and the galaxy torn asunder by the Great Rift, these cyber-enhanced warriors may well hold the key to humanity's continued existence. Their ability to adapt and evolve in the face of new challenges embodies the resilience that has allowed mankind to endure 10,000 years of constant warfare. The symbolism inherent in the Skitarii's existence resonates deeply with the broader themes of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. They represent both the heights of human achievement and the depths of sacrifice required to maintain the Imperium. In their augmented bodies, we see reflections of humanity's potential for greatness and the terrible price of progress in a galaxy where compassion is a luxury few can afford. As the lines between organic and artificial continue to blur, the Skitarii stand at the forefront of a possible transhuman future. Their existence challenges us to reconsider what it means to be human in an age where technology can reshape our very bodies and minds. The path they walk is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a testament to mankind's ingenuity and a warning of what we might become in our quest for survival. In the data vaults of Mars and countless forge worlds across the galaxy, the next evolution of the Skitarii is already taking shape. As humanity faces ever-growing threats from within and without, these tireless warriors will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in the battles to come. Their saga, intertwined with the fate of the Imperium itself, is far from over. The legacy of the Skitarii extends beyond the battlefield, influencing Imperial culture, technology, and philosophy. Their existence serves as a constant reminder of the sacrifices demanded by life in the 41st millennium and the lengths to which humanity will go to secure its place among the stars. As we contemplate their role in the grand narrative of Warhammer 40,000, we are left with a profound sense of the complexities and contradictions that define this grim, dark future. In the end, the Skitarii embody the eternal struggle between humanity's past and its potential future. They stand as guardians of ancient knowledge and harbingers of a transhuman age, their every action a prayer to the Omnissiah and a defiant shout against the encroaching darkness. As the fires of war burn ever brighter across the galaxy, the Skitarii march on, their augmented hearts beating in time with the grand designs of the Adeptus Mechanicus and the indomitable will of humanity to survive, no matter the cost.